Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Tonight's stream is going to be pretty chill. Going to be working on the Giftex application again. Let me just catch you up on what I accomplished last time. Let's see. Here is the running app. So I actually have data coming in from Firebase here on the front page, just doing a database read. But more importantly, I did some work off camera where if a user logs in, you see now that the application knows that somebody's there. As you change pages, previously the user would actually log out. Not log out, but the application would forget the state that a user is logged in. But now I fixed that to where any page you go to, it remembers that somebody's logged in. And I'll do a quick recap, show you how I did that with Next.js. Now, I'm actually new to Next.js. This is the first time I'm using the framework for this project, but it was actually fairly simple, and I like how they do this. So here's how it works. Let's just bring up the documentation first to show you. So there's this thing called app, and it wraps your entire application. What happens is anytime you switch pages, a page is loaded inside of app. So you'll see if you want to do something custom, you can just extend the app class and do whatever you want. So normally, your particular page would run get initial props, which is server-side fetching of data, and then it would just return the props for the page. So if the method is defined, asynchronously run and wait for the return, and then return the page props for get initial props. So you need to do that. You can override that if you want to. Otherwise, you render the component with the page props. So I'm not totally sure what this container thing is, but the component would be the page that you passed in and the props determined at runtime. So this wraps your entire application. Every page loads inside of this app component. So if you want to customize that, you just make an underscore app.js. And I did the same thing they did here, but I brought in two things. I brought in my styled components theme and my styled components global styles, as well as the provider for user, which I'm using to keep track of if users are logged in or not, and provide that to my entire application. So we've got this container thing, whatever that is. Then I add the theme provider, the user provider, stick the global styles in, and then render the component. So no matter what page or component I render, it will have the theme provider, the user provider, and the global styles defined. So this means that as I transition pages, which are just components, like check this out. Like if you look at the index page, it is just a component called index page. Just like if I switch to the register or the login page, it's just a component. So login page would be getting passed into app as component. So you could imagine this is like login page instead. And that's it. This is how I got user state to persist across page changes, route changes. Okay, sick. So now we're caught up. What I want to do, where is my application? I think I had a page called group. What was it called? I got this working in Gatsby, but then I transitioned to Next. So yeah, it looks like group. Oh, interesting. So let's, this is new to me. So I need my vision for this site is to be able to go to group new to create a new group, or group 1, 2, 3, 4, some ID to view a group that's already created. A group would be like, a gift exchange that's going on. So what we need to do is figure out if we can make nested pages in Next.js. Nested routes, subroutes. Ooh. It's a good library. What's this guy doing? Making a next link. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, okay. A.js, B index, BX, BY. That seems to be what I've got going on. So I should be able to go to login. And I have a group new. File could not be found. Here, instead of running now, I'll run yarn just to make sure I'm not screwing something up. Sorry, you hear that? The ice in my whiskey. I'm a Southern Comfort man. Okay, what do we got here? I would expect something to be a group. Okay, see, it's there. I don't know why it's not rendering on the server. I will have to figure that one out in a sec. So great, I've got a group because it has an index file and a group new. Great, so I want to focus this video on a new group. And I hate to say it, but this is going to go away. Okay, so group new. This whole thing just uses the new group component. So let's kind of go to our database. This is how I modeled it, groups. Okay, so we're organizing a gift exchange. A gift exchange has what? It's going to have a name. It's going to have members. I might actually add like a date. Yeah, I don't think it's going to have to be a string, right? Yeah. Store date in Firebase. I don't know how you do it. That's fine. I mean, we can just slurp it in and create date from string, right? No big deal. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so we'll have a date. Let's say this date's going to be whatever. It'll be like December 20th. So that's when people, 2019. What else might you need in a group? I know some of these things like have rules for who can get matched with who and who can't get matched with who. Oh, maybe there'll be like a spending limit. Maybe the limit is like $25. Right? That might be something people would have. I think that's it. I'll come up with more stuff later. So we've got name, members, limit, and date. So we'll go back to VS Code and do a couple more of these. So name, members, date. That's a string, so it's going to start off as empty, and limit. It's a number, so it'll start off at 0, I suppose, or probably just undefined, like okay. And we need inputs for them. So I've got an input for name and members. We need an input for date and limit. Okay, on members changes special because I was being dumb and like just parsing out email addresses. I will make that fancier later, but otherwise we can do what we did here. On change is going to be set date in this case. And set limit. I'm getting red squigglies everywhere. What's the problem? That's the problem. All right, cool. I'm going to leave styling till the very, very end. I'm just going to get a functioning app right now. So we've got name, we've got members. This is going to be a date picker. Sick. What do we say? Like December 20th. Sweet. And limit, let's make it $25. Okay, so the inputs are working. Let's make sure that this is getting captured in state. So there's my app. That's the custom component we wrote. Oh, yo. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's move this to the bottom so I can see. Still is not working well with hooks, but that's okay. We have all the data that we need. Sick. So it is populating. Okay, so now we just need a way to push it to Firebase, right? On submit. The group is what? The name, the members, the date, and the limit. And then we can add a group. Okay, added a bunch of crap there. Press create. And we are getting a document. Let's see. Yeah, dude, that's it. So we're looking good there. Now we probably need a way to view these groups. Yeah, I'll have to do error handling. Okay, great. On submit works in both cases where I hit enter or I tap the button. All right, so this is like kind of done for now. There's definitely a way we can abstract this this thing to use like a custom hook, but I think we'll be okay for now. People are talking to me about work right now. That's a pass. So now I want to go to a page where I can see the group. And I think this is where I had the group index page. So let's make sure this page actually exists. What if I want to group like something? It renders nothing. Okay, so this is a run to the documentation. I actually think this is part of the tutorial. So learn. Let's see. Create dynamic pages. Here we go. Let's learn together, you guys. We're starting to create dynamic pages by using query strings. When you click on a post title, you'll be able to see the individual post in its own view, right? First of all, let's add the list of post titles. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean, I get it. You can do a query parameter. Pages post. How do you... Oh, because it's with router? Now we need to create the post page to show the blog post. In order to do that, we need to get the title from the query string. Right. Let's do a simple modification. Replace the content of pages post with the following. With router content. Right. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Okay, so this is the meat and potatoes right here. We need to make some of this stuff. This is the query string implementation, which sucks. I know, but we got to start somewhere. So let's see. We probably need like a page that lists all the groups. Like all of that person's groups. We'll do that first. Okay, so all I'm doing is copying the code that retrieves the users, sticking it in here, and calling this groups instead. And we also need to pull in Firestore. Firestore. What else? Telling me about groups. Oh, use state. Yeah. Use state and use effect. And then this iterates. think we're almost done here, just renaming everything about user to group. Cool. All we're going to do is output the group name. Does it work? Can't resolve layout. For real? Can't resolve layout in Giftex pages. Damn, that was easy. Just like that, we have our group showing up. So, okay, so what we want now is a way to like reach each one of these groups. So these are going to be hyperlinks where if you click on one, it'll be like Castillo Christmas 2019. So what we actually need is import link from next link. And instead of putting out a P, we're going to put a link with an href equal to, it's actually going to be a template string most likely. If I could find the $sign on my keyboard. So let's go back here. It's going to be, yeah. So we're going to what? /group/ the thing. So it'll be group ID. We'll just do ID to make life easy. And the beauty of that is a lot of this stuff can be like server-side rendered. This can be server-side rendered, right? That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so. Oh, that's so good. Great. Okay, so the links are up and running. Now we just need to figure out how to make those actual pages. So yeah, how does it know where to go? Post title. Oh, it's supposed to render the group page. Group/blah. Oh. Query string. This is not a clean URL. This is a query string. Like this stupid bullshit. Yeah. Whoops. It was yelling at me for doing this. Yeah. Have to put the A tag in there separately. Yeah, so now it's coming in with a query string and it's rendering the right page. So now we can go to group index and pick up props. And I think it was what? Props.location.query or something like that. Let's just log props. Nothing. Doesn't make any sense. That's because I think you had to do like that with router thing from reach router. With router from next router. And you're going to wrap it. I suppose there's two ways to do it. Because I think a lot of people I've seen it do something like this. Put with router at the bottom. I kind of like that implementation better. But now you can get props router query title. So let's log props like we were doing and see what we get. See, now we have router. Router. Where's query? Query. Okay, and now we have access to this ID. Props router query ID. And props validation. Cool, we have it. Great. Let's set it as a constant. Okay, sweet. So we have the ID. See, this is where like we should probably do a server-side render and just use get initial props to render this page. Like it seems dumb to render this client-side. Regardless, we'll roll with it for now. Again, let's just get an MVP out the door here. I'm amazed at how fast I'm actually moving in this project. Firebase is seriously allowing me to go quickly. So we've got all our different groups. We've got an ID. Now we need to know how to like Firebase get. Well, let's just go to the docs. Get a single entry by ID. Pardon me. So let's pop into the Cloud Firestore docs. We want to be able to read data. Let's say get data once. Web. So it's a get. This is doc SF. Is that its ID? I don't understand. Let's just Firebase get by ID. Dot child? The hell is that? Okay, yay. The heck is dot child? I want like more in-depth API reference. Web. There we go. Just give me the API. Get options. No. No, we don't want query snapshot. We want query document snapshot because we want one. This is constructor. Properties, methods, get. Field path or options. I think we're just going to have to try this. What am I doing on the index page? Let's just do all this crap. Group and set group. Yeah, we got to bring in Firestore. Yeah, use state, all that crap. Okay. And so we are getting groups. Firestore.collection. See, document that, like that's what we want. What is this collection reference? Firebase.doc. document path, a slash separated path to the document. So like groups ID. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Git reads the document. And this is yelling at me. The get users function changed on every render. Really? Well, hold on. Just hold your horses. I don't even know what's happening here yet. Let's just try to run this. Okay, so .get.data is not a thing. We have a document snapshot. And we're awaiting that. Okay, what is query if we remove the .doc? It's a document reference. Okay, and a document reference has a .get. Reads it, and it returns a document snapshot. A document snapshot has the data method. I should be able to call data on this. Data, look at that. Okay, I guess you can't chain it for some reason. So firestore.doc returns immediately, but get returns a promise. So yeah, firestore. Let's look at the doc method. Doc returns a document reference. So in that document reference, when we do a .get, it returns a promise. And so we have to resolve two promises. That makes sense? Could we just, from the document reference, get exactly what we want? Get set is equal on snapshot. No. Well, okay, we could also do a .get on ID, right? No, a .get on name. Yeah, that worked. Okay, so but we want the whole group. Okay, so then we're going to set group, and now we need to output that. So let's just have a p tag for everything. So we got name, members, date, and limit. Yo. All right. That's good. That's good. That's good. So groups, I can go to any of them. Yep, perfect. Groups, this one, got everything we need. Let's make members just a little bit nicer. Right, can't, I'm trying to make this conditional. There we go. Fucking JSX. Can I read property map of undefined? Well, you're not supposed to be going in there if group doesn't exist. That's why. Because I gave it a truthy value. There we go. We'll just put headers on everything. Name, members, date, limit. I don't want those H4s. I want them H3s. Better. Dude, this is coming along. I like it. So let's get this use effect working so I don't have to call this every time. Okay, so what's the big problem here? Like index.js, how come that works? Why? Oh. Because if the ID ever changes. Whereas here it doesn't matter. The use effect runs the same every time. There's no difference in the query. Ah. What if I move that outside and told it? No, okay. Ain't gonna work. All right, cool. I think we're good. So because this depends on ID, this get users has to be defined inside of use effect. Otherwise, this would run every time ID changes, which means there's a dependency on the function in and of itself. So if we move the definition inside and only run this use effect on the ID changes, yeah, now we've got a hook that works. Right, I just want to make sure. Yeah, like we're not doing too many. Still seems like a lot. Oh well. How are my reads and writes doing for the day? Usage. I just wanted to make sure I didn't get into some kind of crazy infinite loop. Jesus, 2.1K? Are you serious? It will. Okay, one last thing that I want to do before I close this out. When somebody creates a new group, I want to push them to that page. So I'm sure this should probably be somewhere in the in this. Just like a button, you can place any of your custom React components or even a div within a link. The only requirement is that they should accept an on-click. Yeah, like redirects. There you go. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, how to redirect on client. Really? Oh, router.push. Let's see. So on submit on the group new page, right here, after it's all done, I'm going to do a router.push to the group with that ID. But we need to make sure like this is actually giving us something back. It's a document reference. Great. And now I need to go searching again. What does a document reference allow us to do? I think it allows us to do a .data. Oh, I think a document reference actually has an ID directly in it. Yeah, let's look. Yes, there you go. So let's try once more. This time I'm expecting an ID back. Yes. And now we can redirect router.push to group ID equals ID. All right, let's make sure group question mark ID equals yes. Okay, so redirect members me. Yo, slick. That's awesome. What if I went back? Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay. I think that's going to be enough for today. Recap of what we did. We set up a groups page, which lists all of the groups that we have. Shittily. We set up a group new page that creates new groups. And we set up individual group pages where if you click on it, it uses the query parameter to grab data from Firebase. Now, what I need to do next time is correct this query parameter crap and just make it where instead of it's a query parameter for ID, I just have a slash and then the actual ID of the group. Or maybe like the name, URI encoded or something like that. This is actually coming together way faster than I thought. Honestly, all thanks to Firebase with great documentation. I'm definitely like a reference document type of guy. Like just show me the objects and the methods and I'm good to go. Firebase does a really good job. Now I think I'm starting to understand my way around like a document reference is a reference to the document, but that could be changing under the hood. Whereas a snapshot is like an instance of time of what that document was. So I'm starting to understand like what those are and what they return. But man, Firebase is just letting me move quickly, and Next.js isn't really standing in my way at all. I could definitely see some areas where I need to optimize for server-side rendering. Like, for instance, these group pages, like it just seems ridiculous that I'm like fetching this on the client side. It should totally be rendered on the server side. I don't think that's an issue. Just move that into get initial props and we're good to go. So anyways, lots of progress tonight, lots of cool stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.